Oh, we got a good one this weekend, guys. Live from Ontario, we got Sean Strickland bringing the belt, putting it up against Dricus du Plessis. My partners over at DraftKings Sportsbook have got one incredible deal for all new customers. Download the DraftKings app right now, sign up using the promo code Sonnen, and you can bet just $5 on any of this weekend's fights. You will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Combine multiple bets together from the same fight, like number of rounds, method of victory, for an even bigger payout. Remember, DraftKings is the only place where you can bet same fight parlays. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy. So click on the link below and download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Gal named Bruno, gal named Raquel, going to fight in a co-main event. Now, I don't expect you to know that. And I could have told you two other names were in a co-main event. You'd have never known. You would not be able to disagree with me. Like if I would have started this piece and, all right, we got a co-main event coming up this Saturday and we got Jill and she's taking on Sarah. Like, you wouldn't know that I was joking, or you wouldn't know that I was wrong. You have a co-main event that I found out a moment ago because I looked it up. I had to do the research. I asked other friends in the industry via text message who told me I don't know. So then I had to do the research, and there's a girl named Bruno, and there's a girl named Raquel, and Bruno's fun, by the way. Like, she will go out there and she is not afraid. She understands that to make an omelet, you're going to have to crack a few eggs, right? I appreciate that. And then you got Raquel, who will do nothing at all of interest, but can squabble. She can get down in a get-down contest. You just have to look at your placement on the card, right? If you want to know your standing in an industry, you have to look at your placement on a card at any given night. And this has the most must-see fight that is currently signed. There is no fight even dangled in front of us at UFC 300 itself that trumps the anticipation that we have as a community for Strickland versus du Plessis. It is the absolute must-see fight, but it wasn't. It wasn't 1 month ago, prior to that press conference, prior to the elbow coming off the top chair after Gilbert Burns' children, God bless them, were asked to move. And, not enough has been made about that. Like, to bring children into it is one thing, but imagine if you bring in Gilbert Burns' children. Like, we should all be very glad that those children were given a heads up and allowed to move. I'll put it to you like that. All right? And I think you would agree with me. So, but prior to that, this was not an anticipated fight. This was not a sought-after fight. Nobody asked to see this fight. No member of the media, no pundit, no fan base, no thread on the underground forum itself existed calling for du Plessis versus Strickland. Strickland wasn't calling for the fight. He was talking about Khamzat Chimaev. Dana wasn't talking about the fight. He had told us it was going to be the winner, Kamaru Usman and Khamzat Chimaev. Chimaev himself knew that he wasn't feeling well, knew that he had a broken hand, was going to surgery, but didn't tell anybody, and said that he was getting ready to fight Strickland. Then you had the coaches get involved. Everybody was talking about it. All of a sudden, you insert du Plessis. What I'm talking about is that was not an anticipated fight when it was announced, and there's still somebody underneath him on a card. I mean, you got to take a real good, long look in the mirror if you were on this card Saturday, and you were anything but a main event. I mean, you got to go and you got to talk to your manager and say, hey, what happened and how did we get here? In the history of this specific promotion, they have featured 5 matches. I am one of those 5. How come I wasn't featured? How come for the first time in history nobody knows who the first fight of the night is, who the second fight of the night is, who the third fight of the night is? Why did we all get pushed aside for this fight? Because it's not just a matter of everything you're doing wrong. It's also so that you can look at Strickland and du Plessis and start to see some things that went right. I'm hearing a lot of commentary put out there about Strickland or about the way that he built a fight, or a lot of the media, the promotion that he did. And That's a very interesting way to look at it. That would be reworking reality, but you could look at it that way. It'd be a great way, right? Because there's power in numbers, and numbers they love to team up and they leave to bully, right? You got two guys on top of the bill. They can be proud of themselves. You have everybody else on the card who has done something abysmally wrong in their career, but there's a lot of them. So if you get them together and you start teaming up and you start talking about all the things that the guys on top of the bill did wrong, it can take a little bit of focus off yourself, right? I mean, it's that old expression. You point one finger at somebody, you're pointing three fingers back at yourself. And it's also true. And it's really an amazing thing to hear all the things that the top of the bill has done wrong by people that could never get to the top of the bill. Right? You didn't have a host to say it. You didn't have the star of the show say it. You had the co-host say it. It's a very different thing. It's hard getting up top. It's hard to have the courage. It's hard to know what to do. It's hard to go out there and get it done. But somebody did. And that somebody is the one that's going to be questioned? By who?